Today we are going to be picking our July TBR using TikTok. Hi, my name is Angie and welcome to my little corner of the internet. Yes, you heard that right. We are using TikTok to pick our July TBR. What do I mean by that? You may be wondering, maybe you're not wondering, maybe you're just like, get on with it. My thought process is I have enough books that if I just scroll on TikTok, I'm bound to find one that I own but haven't read. So I plan to go through TikTok and start pulling books off my shelf to pick my TBR. I think we're probably going to do 6 or 7 books. However, I feel very defeated because I haven't read a bunch recently, especially due to some life changes that I've been going through. But my goal for July is to attempt to complete every book that I pull. I really want to use this as a, if you read, you must read these, not a suggestion. However, I'm not going to push myself into another book slump, of course. But these are the books that would be like my biggest priority to read. In other news, if you wear gel nails, do not be an idiot. I started wearing gel nails, Gel X nails specifically, about 3 months ago, and every month I would kind of just soak them a little bit and pull them off. And I guess because I'm so new to nails, and also I didn't allow them to, I guess I didn't do the soak off process right. I don't know, because I was sitting there for almost 2 hours and my nails still weren't coming off. So I just started to cut them off with scissors. And by that I mean I was like kind of pushing the scissor up under my nail and cutting it. And I have now experienced probably some of the worst pain aside from like childbirth or tooth pain, and honestly it may be up there with it. All of my fingers were black and blue. This one is the worst. This is like almost day 7. So don't do that. Don't be stupid. And definitely after you do that, if you do that, do not put more gel on your nails, because turns out it makes it worse. My thought process is it would harden it because they felt flimsy. And yeah, anyway, beside the point, in case you guys cared to know, that is my little advice for the public. I am to the point where I may never wear Gel X or extensions ever again because of how much pain I was in. Am I stupid and probably will? Yes, probably. But anyway, back to the books. To kind of brief what I'm in the middle of reading, I am currently reading actually several books. I am physically reading Daggermouth by H.M. Wolf, and I am utterly obsessed with it, but I'm taking it slow, and I'm reading it slow because I just want to soak it up and actually really, really love it. I feel like if I read it too fast, I'm going to like burn myself out, but I am really enjoying reading a couple chapters every couple days, or like binge reading 100 pages one day and then taking a break for a couple days. I'm really enjoying that one. Then I'm also reading Voyage of the Damned by Frances White. Now this one I'm not loving as much. I feel like there are people that would really love this book, and in fact the average rating is a 3.81, so it is up there. But it is definitely not my favorite. I do feel like if you like the mythical gods, creatures, or if you liked books like Circe or what is that one, Achilles? No, that's not right. I don't remember the name of it. But if you liked books like that, you would like this because it's more like Greek gods type books, but it's just about a god that doesn't have the powers he's supposed to, or it just gives those similar vibes. That one I'm not liking as much. I'm listening to that one on audiobook. And then I am also listening to Fury Bound, which is book 2 to Direbound by Sybil Sorensen. Book 1 I gave 5 stars, and I'm really loving Fury Bound as well, but I feel like I'm just more in the mood for Daggermouth. I'm kind of putting Fury Bound on the back burner. But if you guys would like more in-depth talks about those books, or like any of the books I'm reading, definitely let me know. But those are the 3 that I'm currently reading. So I would say that my mood right now is probably more fantasy-esque, but it's just so dependent. Like Daggermouth is dystopian. Like I said, I'm not really liking Voyage of the Damned, but I really just don't like Greek god books or like books that are based on the sea. I don't know why. That's just one of my turnoffs, is just like pirate-based, sea-based books. And the crazy thing is, like, I want to like those because they sound cool, but every time I read them, I just end up not liking them. And then, of course, Fury Bound is about a girl bonded to a direwolf, which is absolutely so fun. So I definitely would say that right now I'm leaning heavier on fantasy for mood reading. However, I do want to get a good mix up in my TBR for July. So I think the best case scenario would be to just search book recommendations. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to switch over to videos to try and avoid some of those ads, and then I'll just go through.
Starting off, of course, we have Kristen Hanna. Of course, she is going to be up there on the highest rated. Her highest rated is The Nightingale with an average rating of 4.65. Of course, I agree. I rated this 5 stars. It isn't my favorite book by her, but it's undoubtedly 5 stars. And then we have The Women. This has an average...
I don't think I own very many books by Kristen Hanna, and the ones that I do own, I feel like I've read. If you just happen to see a book behind me that's on this list that I didn't grab, that's my bad. I just don't remember owning it.
4.59 star rating. Of course, I agree. I love this book so much. This is my second favorite by her. And then we have The Great Alone. Crazy that this has the lowest rating out of all 3. This has an average 4.46 star rating, which is crazy to me. This is my favorite.
I feel like if I own any of these, it would be The Great Alone, but I don't think I do, so I don't want to be searching for it.
Book. Like, of all time, period. I love this book so much, I think about it daily. Infinity stars for me. And then Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. This has an average 4.57 star rating. I'm gonna have to say I disagree.
I hate this. Have read Fourth Wing.
I didn't love it. I think I gave it 3.5
I
stars.
actually did love it.
We have the Mindfuck series by S.T. Abbey. I was so surprised.
I own the Mindfuck series. Is that going to be our first one? Wow, we are starting off with a banger. Okay, let me go grab it. I'll be so honest right now. This seems beyond nerve-wracking. If you can't see it, it says books 1 through 5. So it's pretty much, I believe, 5 novellas that are combined into one book. And it says, they took too much, left too little. I had nothing to lose until him. I didn't expect to fall in love. I didn't want to fall in love, but I can't let him go. Logan Bennett makes the world a safer place. He's brilliant. He's a hero. He locks away the sick and depraved. But while he's saving lives, I'm taking them, collecting the debts that are owed to me. 10 years ago, they took from me. They left me for dead. They should have made sure I stayed dead, because now I'm taking from them. One name at a time. I've trained for too long. I've been too patient, and I can't stop now. Revenge is best served cold. They never see me coming until I paint their walls red. Logan doesn't know they hurt me. He doesn't know about the screams they ignore. He doesn't know how twisted the town really is. He just knows people are dying. He doesn't know he's in love with the killer. No one suspects a dead girl, and Logan doesn't suspect the girl in his bed. They're looking for a monster, not a girl who loves red, not a girl in love. I'm a faceless nightmare, at least until I tell them the story they've pretended never happened. But in the end, will Logan choose them, or will we watch them burn together? Does that not sound delicious? So I bought this like 2 or 3 years ago, and I was like, this is like the highest anticipated book on my TBR. I am so excited to read that. Then I was like, oh, I actually want to read this around October, spooky season. Guess who never got to it? Me. But guess what time it is? Summerween. So we can totally put this on our summer TBR, right? Right? I don't know, but I am actually so thrilled. This might mean that I need to pick 6 books and not 7, but I don't know. I'm so excited. So there goes the first book on our July TBR. So now I am going to go on to the next video because, like I said, I'm going to try not to pick books from the same people.
Goodreads just posted a list that is the reader's most read books of 2026.
Okay, this is not her recommendations. This is Goodreads list, so I'm skipping this.
Out of the 577 books I've read in the past 4 years, here are my 8 6-star reads. Earning a 5-star rating for me is hard enough, and these are the 8 books where even 5 stars didn't feel like enough. First, I have Small Great Things by Jodi Picoult, and this is my go-to book recommendation. If a random person came up to me and asked me for a book read, I would probably say this one. This is such an important read. I read this at the very beginning of getting back into reading as an adult, and I still think about this to this day. And I have 2 books by Kristen Hanna. I have The Women, just set before, during, and after the Vietnam War, and this really just explores womanhood on all sorts of levels. The strength, the power, and the importance of women and female friendship. This book was phenomenal. And of course, I have The Nightingale. This is a World War II historical fiction following 2 sisters, and this is my favorite book of all time. I would give this 14 stars if I could. On a more fun, romancing note, I have my 2 favorite Elsie Silver books. First, I have Reckless, and Theo is really all I...
Reckless. Okay, so I haven't read anything from this series. I do not own the first book. This is funny. So they had originally had these really cute covers. And as I was buying the series, I noticed that the first one wasn't in stock. So I was like, oh, I'll just buy it later. And so I put everything in my cart. It turns out they were going out of print. Yeah, so I just don't own the first one. So I can, though, get it on my Kindle, I'm pretty sure. So the first book is called Flawless by Elsie Silver, and it says, the rules were simple. Keep my hands off of his daughter and stay out of trouble. But now I'm stuck with her. There's only one bed, one rule, and rules are made to be broken. Okay, one bed trope eats every single time. I do not care what you say. I don't care if it's a TV show. I don't care if it's a book. I don't care what the context is. Even if it's real life, the one bed trope eats every time, and it never fails to make me so freaking giddy inside. Anyway, I'm the face of professional bull riding, the golden boy, or at least I was, until it blew up in my face. Now my agent says I have to clean up my image, so I'm stuck with his ball-busting daughter for the rest of the season as my full-time supervision. But I don't need a babysitter, especially one with skin-tight jeans, a sexy smirk, and a mouth she can't stop running. A mouth I can't stop thinking about. Because Summer isn't just another conquest, she's the man behind the mask. And she doesn't run, she pulls me closer, even when she shouldn't. She says this means nothing. I say this means everything. She says there's boundaries we shouldn't cross, that my reputation can't take any more hits, and neither can her damaged heart. I say I'm going to steal it anyway. Is this man a golden retriever? I hope so. Honestly, I actually hope so. Or like a, I hate everyone but you. That's gonna eat. And it's July, so cowboy romance. Summer bucket list. Okay, I haven't read one yet because I really haven't read this summer. So yeah, okay, this summer TBR is looking up. I am so ecstatic. Okay, on to the next.
I have read 76 books in 2026 so far, and out of those books, I have only given 8 of them 5 stars. So I'm gonna go over what those 8 books were. Now, I will say I give out a lot of 4 and 4.5 stars when I read books, but 5 stars, I feel like you really had to make an impact on me. Starting with my first 5-star read of the year, I actually started the year off and I read the Part of Your World series by Abby Jimenez. So my first 5-star read was Yours Truly. This book just gave me everything I love in a romance. The romance was top tier, the banter, the yearning. I just felt so deeply for both characters. Then, of course, after reading this, I then read it just for the summer and also gave this one 5s.
I do have this. I've been putting it off because I heard some wishy-washy reviews about this one. Let me go see if I can find it. I do like that it just seems to be we're getting a lot of summer-themed books, which is perfect, so thank you, TikTok recommendations. But this is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. So if you haven't heard what this one is about, we follow a girl named Emma who feels like she has a curse, that every guy she dates ends up finding true love after they break up. And she ends up running across a Reddit thread with a guy named Justin who seems to have the exact same curse. Every girl he dates finds true love after they break up. So they hatch this great plan. They're going to date each other, and then the curses will cancel each other out, and then they will find true love after they break up with each other. But in normal Abby Jimenez fashion, things aren't going the way they plan, and there's also a lot of twists and turns in it, because when Emma's toxic mother shows up and Justin has to assume guardianship of his 3 siblings, they're suddenly navigating a lot more than they expected, which includes catching real feelings. So this is going to be so fun as well, and like I said, I am nervous, but Abby Jimenez generally has never once disappointed me. I wouldn't say I'm a super fan like some people are, but I really do typically enjoy her books.
We are just about halfway through the year, so let's talk my top 5 reads of 2026 so far. At number 5 is His and Hers by Alice Feeney, and yes, I did read this because the show was coming out in January, and this is now most definitely one of my favorite Alice Feeney books. It was fast, it was twisty, it was dark, and when I say dark, I mean dark. Please check your trigger warnings. I was not anticipating that heaviness from this one, and it was heavy, but man, did I love it. At number 4, I have None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell, and it's another.
Ooh, I do have None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. Let me grab it. Do you guys see what I was saying about having way too many books? Because on every recommendation list that we have come across, I have owned at least one, so good for me, I guess. This is None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. In fact, when I first started reading adult books, I used to tell people Lisa Joel was my favorite author because she was the first book I read that was considered an adult book that I actually liked. Does that matter? No. Also, this may look a little bit different than most people's copies, and that is because it is an advanced reader's edition. Did I get sent this by the publishers? No. I got it from a lady on Facebook. If the publishers do want to send me books, I will gladly accept them. But, and none of this is true, we follow a girl named Alex, and she is at a pub celebrating her 45th birthday where she bumps into a girl named Josie who also happens to be celebrating her 45th birthday. And they kind of just hit it off because, of course, they're birthday twins. And a couple days later, they bump into each other again, this time outside of one of Alex's children's schools. Josie had been listening to Alex's podcast and thinks she might be an interesting subject for her series. She is, she tells Alex, on the cusp of great changes in her life. Josie's life appears to be strange and complicated, and although Alex finds it unsettling, she can't quite resist the temptation to keep going to the project. Slowly, she starts to realize that Josie is hiding some very dark secrets, and before she knows it, Josie has inveigled her way into Alex's life and into her home. But as quickly as she arrived, Josie disappears. Only then does Alex discover that Josie left a terrible and terrifying legacy in her wake. One that Alex has become the subject of her own true crime podcast, with her life and her family's lives in grave danger. I have heard nothing but praise for this book. I cannot believe that I've put it off this long. But like we've noticed, I have millions of books that I cannot believe I put off this long. And that's because I can't quit buying them. I've done so much better this year, but I can't say that I haven't bought any. But I'm finally grateful that I have the ability to finally start revisiting some of the previous books I purchased that I said were going to be the best ever. So hopefully that still stands the test of time, and they are. I'm super excited. Seems like I'm getting a hot mix between dark folks and super fun cozy romances. So anyway, and that is number 4 on our July TBR, and 2 more. Number 5.
We are just about halfway through the year, so let's
We watched that one.
Must-read books for summer. If you guys are looking for a great summer book for a beach day or just a nice summer day, I have a pile here of some amazing summer books for you guys to get into. Starting off with one of my most recent reads, I loved it so much, Ancient History Between Us by Caitlin Hill. I, guys, had the best time reading this, and it was a perfect kickoff to my summer. To say one of my favorite things about a summer book is it takes place in Italy or the south of France or just Greece, really anywhere in Europe that's known for like having a great summer.
I'm gonna save this because I actually like the sound of that book, even though I do not own it, so.
Spot. This book takes place in Italy, so I was like, I'm gonna have to read that. This book follows 2 best friends, Cami and Wes. They had a first kiss that ended in disaster 3 years prior, and so they haven't spoken since. Southern Italy. Ski and Iron, who is, they go on this journey. Amanda's words heal me, and at her dream job. Book all the time. I read this book, so it had that perfect summer feel. Ex-best friend.
So the only one on that I owned was Remarkably Bright Creatures, and I've already read it. It's 5-star BTW, so I feel like now I have to trust her recommendations.
I've been living for the blackout sunrise. I've been living for the nights that end too soon. I've been living for all these little things, the moments in between. Yeah, little ones I'll miss, 'cause I've been living for some days like this. My father sat me down and said, son, you best be thinking about the next one before.
I feel like I had that book, but I don't know. Maybe I just seen it recommended before, because I don't know where it would be if I did.
want more, but these were the ones that just came to the top of my head. The one book that I will recommend every single summer for the rest of time is The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. This one is about missing girls at a summer camp on a lake. It's dark, it's jaw-dropping, it's twisty. Like, I really could not have asked for more from this book. It's my favorite Riley Sager book. It was so atmospheric. These summer vibes are high. It was such an easy 5-star read. If you have not read it, it absolutely needs to be on your summer TBR. I don't know if you guys are sick of hearing me talk about it, but I'm not tired of talking about It's Not Her by Mary Kubica. It's about a brutal murder and missing person case that happens while a family is on a vacation at a lake. This is one that's going to suck you in instantly. Like, from the first chapter, I knew I was gonna love this. It's so fast-paced. It has lots of twists and turns. It has an absolutely chilling ending, and it's another one I highly recommend you add your summertime TBRs. These next two are both by the same author. They are 20 years later, and don't believe it, both by Charlie Donnelly. At this point, you know me and Charlie Donnelly. I'm really vibing with his books. Both of these take place in the summertime, so obviously they set the perfect scene for summer. This is about a murder case that went cold after 9/11. This one is about a murder that took place in St. Lucia. The woman accused and convicted of it is pleading her innocence. Both are fast-paced. Both are well-researched. Both are absolutely fascinating, twisty till the very end, and kind of infuriating endings, but infuriating endings that I loved. This next one's for my thriller lovers that need a little bit of that action, that kind of like bang-bang, crazy wild action. That's The Island by Adrian McKinty, and
I literally had to say that I owned a book in every video we watched, and so now
About
I went
a
through
murder.
almost 5 where I do not have a book Oh, okay, cool. So I think I actually own this one.
Next is The Storm by Rachel Hawkins, and this is a book you're going to want to take to the beach, sit your ass in a chair. I read this in the winter when it first came out, and the whole time I was just thinking how perfect would this book be for the summertime. It's a really fun bubblegum thriller.
Okay, so I actually have The Storm. I have it on my Kindle. Now, what does make me nervous about this is that I actually have read The Heiress by Rachel Hawkins, and it was okay. I didn't love it, but I do want to give her another shot, and it's right under 300 pages. It's only 258 pages. And it says, Alabama is famous for three things: the deadly hurricanes that regularly sweep into town, the Rosalie Inn, a century-old hotel that survived every one of the storms, and Low Bailey, the locally infamous accused of the murder of her lover, political scion Landon Fitzroy, during Hurricane Marie in 1984. When Geneva Corliss, the current owner of the Rosalie Inn, hears a writer is coming to town to research the crime that put St. Bernard's Bay on the map, she is less interested in solving a whodunit than in a successful true crime book might be to help the struggling inn's bottom line. But, to her surprise, August Fletcher doesn't come to St. Bernard's Bay alone. With him is none other than Low Bailey herself. Low says she's returned to her hometown to clear her name once and for all. But the closer Geneva gets to both Low and August, the more she wonders if Low is actually back to settle old scores. As summer heats up and another monster storm begins twisting its way to St. Bernard's Bay, Geneva learns that some people can be as destructive and as deadly as any hurricane. And the truth of what happened to Landon Fitzroy may not be the only secret that Low is keeping. It sounds absolutely phenomenal. But to me, The Heiress did too. So I'm really hoping that this one's a banger, and then that one I just lucked out with. Okay, this is like the perfect summer TBR. We have one more to choose, so let's go ahead and choose our sixth and final book for this video.
If I lost my memory, these are the books that I'd pick up with a quickness to read for the first time again. You guys have never known yearning until you guys know how much I yearn to read all these books for the first time again. We got a little bit of a list. I'm gonna start this one off with Love Hypothesis. I read this book the year it came out. I was in high school, and this really was my introduction to romance. This book shaped me into the romance novel lover that I am today, okay? Miss Allie Hazelwood did her big one on this one. This also was my introduction to Professor Student, which I, of course, ate it up because if you guys know me now, I love a Professor Student moment, as well as fake dating. Guys. This book just warms my heart, bro. Like, I'm an OG The Love Hypothesis lover, okay? Next is Praise. This is my first book that I've ever read by Sarah Kate, and oh my gosh, this one got me hooked, bro. This is a good age gap moment, oh my gosh. A tad bit of a workplace romance if you catch my drift. And you know Sarah Kate, she has made it spicy. I love this book. Phantasma. I love this book. I
have Phantasma. Let me go grab it. So this is Phantasma. It is another chunky book. I will say I literally think almost every book besides one on this TBR is over 400 pages, which is absolutely insane. But it says, Phantasma only has two rules: stay alive and don't fall in love. So when Ophelia discovers her mother's brutally murdered, there is no time to grieve. She has inherited the family's fearsome magic and enormous debt. Circumstances go from dire to deadly. However, when Ophelia's sister decides to pay off the loan by entering Phantasma, a competition where contestants rarely escape alive and the victor is granted a single wish, the only way for Ophelia to save her sister is to win. But Phantasma is a cursed manor full of twisting corridors and lavish ballrooms, staffed by enticing demons and fatal temptations. And Ophelia must conquer all 9 floors to succeed, if her fears don't overtake her first. When a charming, arrogant stranger claims he can help, Ophelia knows better than to trust him. But with her sister's life on the line, Ophelia can't afford to turn him away. She'll just need to ignore the overwhelming, dark attraction drawing them closer and closer together. Because in Phantasma, the only thing deadlier than losing the game is losing your heart. This was another one that was literally all the rage that I was so excited to get to when it first came out. It came out in September of 2024 and I never picked it up. So I am so excited to have it on my TBR. This TBR absolutely is probably one of the best TBRs I've ever had. So I'm really hoping that I can get to every book this month. And I just think that everybody's recommendations on TikTok are making this to possibly be the highest rated monthly TBR that I'm ever going to read. I don't know. We shall see. If you guys would like a video of me reading all of the books in this TBR, let me know, because I would be so excited to do that. But if you like this video, please like, subscribe, comment. do everything that it says down here. That would really help my channel to grow. I am so thankful that even one of you follows me. I mean, literally so amazing. I feel like I'm just sitting in a room chilling with like 40 something people that are just listening to me talk, and that is such a great feeling. I think it's so fun to discuss books with people that you barely know but could be forever your best friends. So yeah, again, thank you guys. If you like any of these books, suggest any of these books, or even have recommendations for me that are not on this list from today, let me know, because as you can tell, I clearly like to buy books. But if not, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.